How two-factor authentication works. For many years, passwords were the main way we protected online accounts. You create a password. You enter it when logging in. And that single piece of information decides whether you get access or not. The problem is that passwords can be stolen, guessed, or leaked in data breaches. And when that happens, someone else can log in just as easily as you can. To solve that problem, many websites now use something called two-factor authentication. You may have seen it when a website asks for a code sent to your phone after you enter your password. It adds an extra step. But it also adds a lot more security. So today we're going to walk through how two-factor authentication actually works and why it makes accounts much harder to compromise. Chapter 1. What two-factor authentication means. Two-factor authentication, often shortened to 2FA, simply means using two different types of verification to confirm your identity. The first factor is usually something you know. This is typically your password. The second factor is something you have or something you are. For example, a code sent to your phone or a fingerprint scan. By requiring two factors instead of one, the system makes it much harder for attackers to gain access. Even if someone steals your password, they still need the second factor to complete the login. And that extra step dramatically improves security. Chapter 2. The three types of authentication factors. Security systems usually group authentication methods into three categories. Something you know. Something you have. And something you are. Something you know includes passwords or PIN numbers. Something you have includes devices such as phones or security keys. Something you are refers to biometric features such as fingerprints or facial recognition. Two-factor authentication combines two of these categories. For example, a password plus a phone code. Or a password plus a fingerprint. Using multiple categories makes it much harder for attackers to impersonate a user. Chapter 3. The one-time code system. One of the most common forms of two-factor authentication uses one-time codes. After entering your password, the website sends a temporary code to your phone. This code usually works for only a short period of time. Often around 30 seconds or a few minutes. You enter the code on the login page, and if it matches the system's records, access is granted. The important detail is that the code changes constantly. Even if someone sees one code, it becomes useless very quickly. This prevents attackers from reusing stolen codes later. Chapter 4. Authentication apps. Another common method uses authentication apps. Apps such as Google Authenticator or similar tools generate temporary login codes directly on your device. Instead of receiving codes by text message, the app creates them using a shared secret key stored on both the device and the service you are logging into. The code changes automatically every 30 seconds or so. Because the code generation happens on the device itself, it does not require a network connection. This approach is often considered more secure than text message codes. Chapter 5. Hardware security keys. Some people use physical devices called security keys for two-factor authentication. These are small USB or wireless devices that connect to a computer or phone during login. When logging in, you insert the key or tap it to confirm your identity. Because the key must physically be present, it becomes extremely difficult for attackers to bypass the system remotely. Security keys are often used by organizations and individuals who need stronger protection for sensitive accounts. Chapter 6. Why two-factor authentication works. Two-factor authentication works because it separates different types of information. A password might be stolen through phishing or a data breach. but the second factor usually requires access to a physical device. This means an attacker would need both pieces of information at the same time. Stealing one factor is often possible. Stealing two independent factors at once is much harder. This is why enabling two-factor authentication dramatically reduces the success of many common hacking techniques. Chapter 7: Common misconceptions. Some people avoid enabling two-factor authentication because they think it will be complicated or inconvenient. In practice, the extra step usually takes only a few seconds. Another misconception is that two-factor authentication makes accounts completely unbreakable. While it greatly improves security, no system is perfect. For example, phishing attacks can still trick people into revealing both their password and a code. However, these situations are much less common compared to simple password theft. Overall, the added protection is well worth the small inconvenience. Chapter 8: When you should use it. Two-factor authentication is especially important for accounts that contain sensitive information. Email accounts, financial services, cloud storage, work accounts, and social media platforms. These accounts often connect to many other services. If one is compromised, attackers may gain access to multiple areas of your digital life. Enabling two-factor authentication adds a strong additional layer of protection to these important accounts. In summary, two-factor authentication improves security by requiring two types of identity verification. Usually a password combined with a second factor such as a phone code, authentication app, or security key. This system makes it much harder for attackers to access accounts even if a password is stolen. Temporary codes and physical devices ensure that login verification changes constantly or requires direct access to the user's device. While no system is perfect, two-factor authentication dramatically reduces the success of many common password attacks. Online security often improves through small changes rather than complicated technology. Adding one extra verification step may seem minor, but it creates a powerful barrier against many types of attacks. Sometimes the simplest improvements turn out to be the most effective. This has been a mini Leviathan production. If you enjoyed it, check out our other videos. See you in the next one.